G'day folks, here's my May collection update. G'day folks, welcome back to the channel. This is my latest collection update video for everything that arrived in the month of May. So it's only the 4th of June, so hey, this is almost early. The beer of today is Surrender the Void, which is a pumpkin spice latte stout from Garage Project. Very good New Zealand brewery, so haven't tried this yet. Yeah. Yeah, not bloody bad. It's been sitting in the fridge a little too long, so I thought, yeah, it's a grey old day here, so I thought I'd break it out. So yeah, lots of exciting stuff to add today. Covering most of the realms of extreme metal, of bit of black, bit of death, bit of Gorgoroth, bit of doom. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, first up we have a couple from Hell's Headbangers from America. First up we have Gorgoroth with Pentagram. This is classic Norwegian black metal. Probably don't have to tell too many of you about this, but if you don't know this, bloody check it out. And for some reason I kind of missed this band back in the day. I just didn't have any, and I think I had like Destroy when it came out, but yeah, it's a bit patchy and average in parts, so I'm very glad I finally got around to checking out this earlier stuff. Yeah, this is the first lineup with, Infernus is on all of it, I think, but this is with Hate, I'm assuming it's pronounced, on vocals. He's got a very distinct style, but yeah, I can't help but laugh when I see it's written Hat, H-A-T, so I'm always like, oh, evil Hat on vocals. Yeah, it reminds me of a somewhat, not so great Canberra punk band called The Hated, who, were around in the, 2000s. I saw them too many times, unfortunately. And yeah, they got written up in the street press once as The Hat by mistake as a typo, and they hated it, but yeah, used to make us laugh on radio quite a lot, so yeah, whenever I see anything as Hat or The Hat, yeah, I cackle because I'm an idiot. At any rate, this is a very bloody killer album. It's pretty straightforward, riffy sort of black metal. It's kind of like your pure Holocaust sort of style, but not quite as fast. But catchy as bloody hell, and don't let all the silly infighting and dramas of Gorgoroth and all the Gaal fun spoil this one, because, yeah, definitely check this one out. Yeah, the highlight probably song for me is, Under the Pagan Megalith's pretty bloody catchy, but yeah, the whole thing's just killer. This and Antichrist, the second album, are both worth checking out, so yeah. I'm glad I finally got around to checking these guys out. Kind of regret that it's taken me this long, but yeah, well, there's only so much music you can listen to. Also from Hell's Headbangers is a recent reissue they just put out of Deceased and their third album, Fearless Undead Machines. So yeah, this is a spiffy reissue. I think this came out on Relapse originally, but yeah, nice sort of gatefold with your lyrics and killer Wes Ben's got her cover art as usual, but yeah, this is a classic American, I don't know, always this kind of borderline kind of band of death thrash and kind of heavy metal as well. Probably lump them in with death metal, but yeah, good combo of all three, to tell the truth. It took me a while to get into this band, to tell the truth. They were never really one of my favourites. I think there was just a few more other Relapse bands that stood out a little more than this, but yeah, I'm glad I finally persisted with these chaps, because they're bloody excellent. This is probably my favourite one of theirs, I reckon. It's a concept album about zombies. Who would have guessed? So that they actually have written on the inside just a list of inspiration, what movies they were inspired by, for what zombie movies and so on. So yeah, that's a useful little tidbits for you. But yeah, this is a killer bloody album. They're pretty long songs, I've got to say. I mean, this is a 2 LP set, but I don't think it has any extra stuff. Maybe like an EP or something bunged on the end, but I'm pretty sure it's just the album. But honestly, it never gets boring. They've got a lot of variety in there. It's really good. I think King Fowley is the main dude, and he drums and sings on this, and drumming's pretty bloody impressive, but I really like his vocals as well. They kind of sound like Kronos from Venom a bit in parts. Pretty wild at times. This also comes with a small kind of write-up about the album and old thrash collage kind of thing, so yeah, good value, and it's got a huge freaking A2 poster of this cover art as well, which is pretty spiffy. I've only seen these guys the once. I saw them at MDF 2010, and they played directly after Autopsy, who it's my favourite band, and I went a little berserk for them, so still on quite the high when I wandered in to see Deceased and was like, I don't know any of their songs. This sounds good, but I think I need to go lie down. So I only saw a bit of Deceased, but yeah, they were impressive live. I'm kind of spewing. It was directly after, and I was so knackered, but yeah. Glad to finally get this. I might have to track down. Well, I do actually have a few other Deceased albums on CD, but yeah, I might dig a little deeper, I think. Because yeah, these chaps kick ass. Next up are a series of new releases from Century Media, so I just thought, bugger it, I'll get them direct. So first up we have Grave Pleasures with Plague Boys. Not sure on the reasoning for that name, but what the hell. This is the third album of this Finnish apocalyptic death rock, or it's just sort of gothic rock kind of style band, which not really a style I usually go for, I gotta say, but it's growing on me. It's gone to the years of me just scoffing at anything goth because I was too metal, but yeah, that stuff's growing on me a bit, I've got to admit. So but yeah, I kind of like these guys. This is same bassist and vocalist from Beast Milk, which was their earlier band. So this is like Matt from using like Dot Guard and Code and about a million other things on Hex Vessel or whatever they're called. I can never not help but compare these guys to Beast Milk, which is kind of probably a bit sad for them, but I really love that Beast Milk album. It's bloody awesome, and none of these Grave Pleasures ones have quite matched up to it, in my opinion. I don't know, they're just kind of lacks the punch and catchiness of Beast Milk. The songs are just a bit longer, a bit more sort of languid, which, I don't know, it grows on me, I've got to admit. And this one, first listen, was just like, yeah, well. But yeah, subsequent listens in the car, it's it's improving, I think. I've got to let this one swirl around a bit more, I think, and once I sort of know the songs and can sing along, because honestly, Matt's vocals are really the highlight of this, and probably with the highlight of Beast Milk as well. It's got a great range, really good style. But yeah, this just kind of lacks the punchy, the short misfitsy kind of style of Beast Milk, but I do like the dreamy 80s sort of, I think it's Lead Balloons is the song, really quite fun on this one. So yeah, I'd like to see these guys live at some stage, so to Australia, buggers. But yeah, it's still worth checking out, I reckon. If you like your goth rocky sort of stuff, then yeah, give Grave Pleasures a go. Main reason I did the order was to get this, which is Afflicted with Beyond Redemption. This is an old Swedish death metal band. I only put out 2 albums. This is all their demos as Afflicted Convulsion, as they were first named, as well as some EPs and demos when they turned into Afflicted. So this all leads up to their Prodigal Son first album. I kind of like it when these comps start right at the beginning. So this is from 89 to 92, and because the 89 stuff sounds totally different, really. It's just kind of fun to see the progress of them over the years. So the first demo on this, which is Toxic Existence, is pretty different actually. Cries, slightly deathy thrash sort of style. Actually sounds a bit like Sarcophago in parts, so I'd say that was maybe an influence. So yeah, from 89, so it's pretty bloody old. And yeah, it's got the most awful friggin' cover of Batman, the theme song, which Voivod did alright. This version is not so great. But yeah, it sounds quite a bit different than their latest stuff. After that is the psychedelic grindcore demo, which just sounds shit. It's terrible. It's actually a rehearsal, I think. And I mean, the songs are great because you can hear them on the next demo, but the sound quality is just abysmal. If this is as good as they could clean it up, I'm really surprised they released it at all in the first place. I mean, the fast bits are just a blur. The slower bits you can actually make out a bit of stuff, but yeah. Yeah, it's a bit mushy, you could say. After that is the third demo, 1990, is Beyond Redemption itself, and that's when it starts actually getting pretty bloody good. They've actually got a reasonable sound for once. You can actually hear the solos and other quality actual riffs. So that's pretty good. After that, they lose their singer and they get the original singer was alright. It was a bit average, just did the job. After that, they get the proper guy that they had for the album, Joachim Brahms, and he does a much better job. Although, to tell the truth, he doesn't sound anywhere near as crazed on any of these recordings as he does on the album. I really like his weird style on the album, but yeah, after this they moved to Sunlight Studios with your classic Thomas Skogsberg production, which does sound a hell of a lot better, although for some reason it's super loud, clangy sort of bass on one of these. It's just terrible. But yeah, after that they're pretty much just demo versions of album tracks, so nothing super exciting. Although it's interesting to hear the songs that didn't make the album. I think there's Viewing the Obscene didn't make the album, and I can kind of see why. It's a bit clunky at parts. This also comes with like a cover of Seven Gates of Hell, like a Venom cover that I think was on an EP that was also on this quality little compilation CD that I've only really got because Alchemist's on it. There's a heap of good Swedish death metal bands on it. There's Afflicted, Furball, Therian, Deranged, and unsurprisingly it's from Sweden. So but yeah, it's nice to have the Venom cover on here, which is not too bad, but not amazing, I've got to say. But yeah, this is a nice little package. It's like 3 LPs. Comes with your lyrics to all the songs, a few flyers and the like. Also, it's got a really quite good write-up as well in here. It's sort of, the history of the band goes through to the album, Prodigal Son, and then the album after that, Dawn of Glory, which is just like heavy metal for some strange reason. So, yeah, flyers and photos of the boys looking cool. So, yeah, pretty impressive, although honestly, to tell the truth, I'm probably not going to listen to it a giant amount, only because I also bought the album, which is, pretty much the definitive version of all these songs. I've had this on CD for donkey's years, so, yeah, yet again, another unnecessary purchase, but what the hell. But yeah, they got a bit weirder on this one, and it's just right up my alley. Just Swedish death metal with some weird psychedelic sort of quirks. Well, it does actually remind me of aforementioned Alchemist as well in parts, which is fine by me. I always love this band picture on the back. I think it says in the liner notes, and this also comes with exactly the same liner notes as the compilation. I think it says they just did that for a laugh and don't like it anymore, but I always appreciated the fact they look like non-metal tough guys. But yeah, the singer's at his best on this, just deep as hell, but also just weird, crazed sort of screams as well. Most of the songs are on the demo, but there are a few newer ones. I think Rising to the Sun is the newer one. It's one of my favourites. It's got weird wah pedal sort of section and the contrast between the heavy and the weirder stuff. I think Harboring the Soul, first proper song's a new one as well. But yeah, that's I think of this as quite an underrated Swedish death metal gem. Like, it's a bit weird, so I could see people not enjoying that aspect of it, but I love it. It's definitely fine by me, so very happy to get this one on record. A couple of weeks ago, I was up in Sydney to see Emperor live, which was bloody awesome. And yeah, the day after was not a weekend for once, so I swung by Newtown and managed to get a park and went to Repressed Records, which is an excellent little record shop. And quite a bit cheaper than Utopia, where I'd been just prior to that, so I was pleased to save some money, and yeah, I picked up 4 records from there, and they got a good little range there. This one was second hand and $14 bloody, so I was a bit surprised. But continuing the Swedish death metal theme, we have Kamos with their self-titled first album. This is I think they've only got 2 albums. This is fierce Swedish death metal, pretty much in the kind of in the Unleashed kind of vein. Especially on, I think it's Doom of Man, sounds pretty damn Unleashed-y. But yeah, just sort of kind of mid-pace to fast, similar sort of style. But pretty friggin' intense, I gotta say. But yeah, I don't know why it was $14. It's in pretty good shape. Although that said, I played it the other day. It was a bit crackly sounding, but the record looked fine. So I don't know. Maybe it's just a dud press. Maybe it's because there's a slight little nick on there, but fine by me. I don't care. Again, I may have had this on CD for many, many years, but yeah, $14. I'm not made of stone, so yeah, glad I picked it up. It's got a nice poster of the cover art as well in it, and the old gatefold with lyrics. Nice cover art by Timo Kotola, R.I.P. Who always did great work. But yeah, if you like, this is sort of like late 90s, I think, maybe early 2000s Swedish death metal, which was one of the few bands still sort of carrying the torch of just, straight ahead, balls out. Although it does have a few interesting, weird sort of chanty kind of bits that, I don't know, you could see on like a Nile album or something. It works very well. I think it's on The Storm of Coming or Chem or something or other. I don't know. They use it a couple of times and it's pretty bloody effective. So, yeah, I'm kind of sad these guys only did 2 albums. I don't think I even own the second album, but yeah, I like these guys. Good, straight meat and potato Swedish death metal. Can't go wrong. Also from Repressed is this brand new album from Gutter Prince Cabal Records, excellent little label from Australia. This is Aglo with Into the Maze. This is Aaron from Mental Cavity, I Exist, Burn the Hostages, and once also in the mighty Reign of Terror. This is a solo project of his, sort of your death doom with a Star Trek theme for some reason. I think that's a Borg cube there, if I'm not mistaken. Showing my nerdiness as well. The lyrics are talking about hive mind and the like, so yeah, good work. There's not enough Star Trek inspired albums out there. So yeah, this is Death Doom, very much in your Hooded Menace sort of style, which is bloody fine by me. I got heaps of Hooded Menace, so thankfully I'm glad there's some sort of speed ups here, because yeah, that's one thing that Hooded Menace and Coffins kind of lack, is they don't have quite enough. They just take the one pace too long, basically. This one changes it up quite a bit. It's excellent production as well from Jason and Goat Sound, I think. So, yeah, I'm very happy with this one. Great thumping production. So, and yeah, well, I'm curious if you'll ever try and make a band out, or a live band out of this, but it would go down pretty well live. So, yeah, good work, Aaron. Another one from Repressed was a random, not heard them before by, but yeah, this is Clairvoyance with Threshold of Nothingness. This is a newish Polish death metal band. Yeah, they go pretty alright. I got sold by the stupid Obi strip thing that had their breakdowns are literal beatdowns that proudly meld old New York death metal with contemporaneous Finnish filth. So I got sold by that. Can't go wrong with that. And yeah, I was pretty impressed. This is only an EP. It's only like 5 songs, but it's bloody excellent. I also checked out their demo before this, which yeah, I almost kind of prefer to this. This one, yeah, they're obviously getting better at their instruments, which is good to hear. So slightly more intricate. The demo is a bit more basic, but yeah, pretty bloody impressed with this one, I got to say. So yeah, the fact it was on Blood Harvest as well as pretty much an instant sale for me as well. So yeah, my random purchase paid off for once, so I'm happy with that one. So yeah, Clairvoyance. And lastly from Repressed is the mighty Mystifier with their first album, Wicca. This is Brazilian black metal. This is 1992, I think, this album. I don't know, for some reason I never actually bought any of their stuff, but it's bloody killer stuff. It's mostly in your sort of, I don't know, kind of your sarcophago and mixed with blasphemy kind of vein, but there's plenty of slower sections as well, so these guys go quite alright, I reckon. I love the killer raspy sort of vocals and occasional sort of pitch shifter that they employ. It just sounds killer. This is their original vocals, whose name I'm not going to try and pronounce. It starts with M. It's also got that whispery kind of Beharit feel to it as well, that they've obviously heard a bit of Beharit as well, so yeah, it's killer bloody album. Drums sound a bit sort of weird on this. It kind of almost sounds like a drum machine, kind of like Inri does as well. But yeah, maybe it's just D drums or something. Who knows? But yeah, it's this is a very recent Nuclear War Now reissue. Picture. How can you go wrong with a band photo like that? The old blowing fire at Christ with the cross and standing around looking evil. Love it. Comes with not that exciting sort of thingy of lyrics. I think this is a pretty faithful repress, with barely any changes. So seems to have gone through different covers over the years. So happy with this version of it. So yeah, I got to try and track down what's the other one called? Goetta or whoever the hell you pronounce that. The next album. Because yeah, these guys go quite alright. So yeah, if you want your old school black metal, very sort of, I don't know, late 80s sounding, yeah, Mystifier, kicking ass. Up next are a couple I got from Overuse Records in Tassie. First up is my Ifanak connection grows a little further with their, what's it called? Skin, Stone, Blood, Bone. I don't know if that's a Terminator reference or what, probably not. Yeah, this is Gespawagi black metal from Quebec. That's what it says on the back. I probably pronounced that highly incorrectly. Yeah, this is a one-man band, and yeah, pretty kick-ass, I gotta say. I really quite enjoy these guys. It's very much a sort of Dark Throne kind of style, but I really like the loud drums on this. I think it's Death of the Sun. Akai is a bit more lively and full-on than usual, but production seems a bit sort of up and down on this. I'm not sure if it's multiple sessions. I mean, this originally came out, I think, just on tape in 2019. What's it called? Dancing in the Skyward. It's got some interesting sort of electro beats for a while before it all kicks in, and there's a bit of dungeon synthy sort of stuff with flute. So it's a bit sort of up and down, I've got to say. A bit scattered in parts. But yeah, overall, the songs that I like are pretty friggin' kick-ass. So yeah, I'll continue on my Ifanak journey, I think, because yeah, I'm really quite enjoying these guys. Also from Overuse, and originally came out on Go to War X Records, is Destroyer 666 with Let the Demons Speak. This is live at the Toad in 1998, so it's sort of year after Unchain the Wolves came out, so it's mostly songs off that. It does actually have Eternal Glory of War from Phoenix Rising on it, which sounds a bit faster on this, I gotta say. Plus it's got a cover of Destruction's Total Disaster. So yeah, it sounds pretty good. Like it's live recording, but vocals are a bit sort of buried on it, but overall sounds pretty reasonable. Looks to have, based on the pictures of them, looks to have Cos from Gospel on bass. Well, assuming these pictures are actually from this gig, so it's distinctly lacking in detail. It's actually got the date finally on the stupid Obi strip on the front of February 1998, but yeah, there's no band listing, no who recorded it or anything stuff. So yeah, don't know why they bothered with the gatefold when it's somewhat minimal details, but yeah, no, that's still pretty bloody good quality. So it's pretty much most of Unchain the Wolves. It's also got the two songs from Satanic Speed Metal on here, and one old one, Endless Stream of Bombers. So yeah, it's I must admit I'm more of a Phoenix Rising and Cold Steel fan than Unchain the Wolves, as blasphemous as that probably sounds to most Aussies, but I don't care. But yeah, Australian and Antichrist, it's always a rip alive. So yeah, it's well worth tracking down, I reckon, if you like your Destroyer. But I gotta say, I still find that logo hilarious. It just looks like something I would have produced on a very old computer program I had as a kid that could do sort of 3D logos. I don't know. I shouldn't laugh, but every time I see it, it's just, yeah, surely they could do better than that. At any rate, good old Destroyer. Next up are a couple I got direct from Extremely Rotten Productions in Denmark. This is 2 EPs of Sequestrum. This is the epitome of putridity and pickled preservation. These are from the last couple of years. Horribly glary, no doubt, on screen, but oh well, what the hell. Yeah, so this is death grind stuff from Denmark. It harks back to your old, Pungent Stench, and of course a bit of Carcass here and there. It's got old mate David from Undergang on guitar and vocals, as well as some other members of Chaotian and Freneloth. Those guys like being in a lot of bands, I've got to say. So yeah, all 4 of them sing, and if David's deep friggin' heavy as hell vocals aren't heavy enough for you, there's some pitch shifted stuff on here as well, so sounds nice and gurgly. And yeah, some killer grooves. I think Pearls on Offal's best shown version of that, but yeah, so this is both EPs. The demo does give a definition of stupid freaking covers. Get out. It does give a definition of Sequestrum as The necrotic bone that is embedded in the pus-infected granulation tissue. There you go, kiddies. And I've got to appreciate David sends around a good batch of flyers and stickers and bloody everything, as well as, for some reason, all through my study I have these little Danish flags everywhere. So thanks, mate. Thanks, Dave. Good work. But yeah, it's quality Gorgoroth stuff, so yeah, check it out. It's great. Keeping with the gore theme, from Iron Matron Records, we have Gruesome Stuff Relish with a reissue of The Last Men of Gore. This is brand spanking new. Ooh, look at that. Oh my god. This is my first cutout cover, I think. Yeah, this is a Spanish sort of gore grind band. Always been a big fan of, massive fan of their Teenage Giallo grind. It's just killer bloody album. But yeah, this is kind of released after that, I think, as a compilation of, I think it's 5 newer songs from 2003, plus their Last Man Alive 7-inch, and also the split with Brutality Reigns Supreme. There's only a couple of these songs are actually on what's it called, Teenage Giallo Grind, but yeah, there's, I don't know, these guys just have the perfect groove to them. It's got a slowly sort of Swedish death metal sound to it, but you know, it's just full, you know, general surgery, hemorrhage kind of style gore grind. And yeah, just awesome groove. A number of samples, not a huge, not super sample heavy, but yeah, I would recommend this one if you like your gore grind groovy and heavy. So yeah, happy to have this one, even though I've kind of owned the CD for years. But what the hell? It's got a cutout. Of course I'm going to buy it. Another brand spanking reissue that I got from Music Farmers is Pod People with their Doom Saloon album. This is their first album from back in, I don't know, 2001, somewhere around there. Yeah, this is probably my favourite Pod People release, I've got to say. I'm somewhat familiar with this band. Yeah, I know them rather well. And yeah, I've seen them a lot of times over the years. Honestly, it's been kind of fun re-listening to this because I don't actually listen to Pod People albums that often because I have seen them live so many bloody times. I'm very glad they're back together now, and I think they got a new album coming out very soon, so it should be bloody good. But yeah, this is probably their better era, I reckon. I like this slightly more than the Mon's second album. Not sure why, but I don't know. Probably having seen it live so many times, the songs have seeped into my soul. But yeah, the highlights on this for me are probably Filling the Void, and I think Look Beneath is another good one as well. You're looking real young. But yeah, these guys are sort of stoner doom, you could call them. They got a healthy dose of cathedral influence there, and I think Lee Dorian must have noticed, because this was reissued on Rise Above a couple of years after it came out on the Aussie version on High Beam. So yeah, it's got a good variety of styles here, mostly the mid-paced rocking sort of style, but yeah, there's Subterranean, I think, is the just like 10 minutes of crawling doom, which they do live now, which is really good. I don't know if they used to play it that much in the past, but yeah, as I said, and this comes as comes with this poster, which is kind of cool. It's got the both sides, which is how the original CD came, but it was fold out upside down cross. So heavy metal, I love it. It's kind of a bit of a shame this is just a normal poster, but no. It's bloody killer artwork as well, so yeah, no, I was very happy to grab this one again. Well, even though not again, because I've owned the CD since it came out, but yeah, worthy release on record, I reckon. So yeah, check them out if you like your metal doomy and slow. Up next from Total War Records, we've got the Chasm with The Scars of a Lost Reflective Shadow. This came out, I think, last year. This is the Dark Descent press. I don't think they put out the original CD of it, but yeah, this is a long-running death metal band. I think they started in Mexico and moved to Chicago. So this is Daniel from Cenotaph. He's the main bloke, and I think the drummer Antonio's been there forever as well. So it's pretty much just them now. But yeah, this is just intricate, thrashy, kind of melodic death metal. doesn't sound good from that description, but man, this bloody rules. This is a band I always mean to listen to more. I really don't actually own very much of theirs. I kind of need to change that, I think. They got a number of albums, I reckon, I don't know, maybe 10 albums. The last one was like purely instrumental and didn't do a giant amount for me. This one's still got like, I think at least 10 minutes worth of instrumental tracks on here, but yeah, and honestly, to tell the truth, the first listen just didn't really blow me away, although I was working at the same time. But then, yeah, bung it on headphones, you can and actually pay attention to it. Oh yeah, it's a bloody good album. I don't know, it's just really impressive stuff. It just flows perfectly, really great songwriting. Doesn't get boring there. I mean, there are some pretty long songs on here, but I don't know, it just flows. It just sounds natural. It really is a sort of, I don't know, kind of like your old school death metal-y sort of style. It's got a bit of kind of possessed feel to it, or your early Morbid Angel sort of style. It's just metal. Friggin' metal. I've seen these guys a couple of times. I saw them at the, I think MDF 2010. They played on like this friggin' slopey, weird stage. Or the street was slopey that the stage was set up on. It was odd. It was funny. I remember watching people moshing on like an angle like that, and on the road, just like, yeah, say goodbye to your skin, fellas, when you fall over. At any rate, these guys rocked then, and I saw them again in 2019. I think actually, there's pretty sure my my MDF 2019 video has footage of these guys. I might even have a separate song of theirs. So yeah, check it out. But yeah, these guys just friggin' rip. Just intricate, just detailed. I don't know, it's hard to describe, but very worth checking out, I reckon. Up next is a freebie sent to me by my good mate Stu, so thanks heaps. He managed to order this twice, I believe. So, yeah, bunged it in the mail to me. So, thanks, mate. Really appreciate it. This is Ataraxy with Curse of the Requiem Mass. This is one of their earlier EPs that came out on Misako and Detest Records. This is a Spanish death metal band that sounds quite a bit like the old Bolt Thrower and Asphyx as well. So, yeah, fine by me. Two rather excellent influences. Honestly, it's nothing groundbreaking in the slightest, but it's just good thumping death metal fun. So, and there's a nice bit of autopsy action in Hear the Ghouls as well. So, yeah, their more recent stuff's a bit more detailed and better written possibly than this, but this is a damn good start, I've got to say. Yeah, I really quite appreciate this band. I'd love to see them live at some stage. So, yeah, boys standing around in the old graveyard. Love it. So yeah, thanks again, Stu. Much appreciated. Up next is one I picked up at the gig a couple of weeks ago. This is Despise You with Westside Horizons. Yeah, they played in Canberra at the, what's it called, Transit Bar. It was a friggin' excellent gig. I figured it'd be fun, but it was really bloody good. They put on a great show. And as did Bloodmouth, who just blew me away. It was killer. But yeah, I never actually owned anything really of these guys other than on a few compilations here and there. But so yeah, I was pleased to pick up this. This is like a compilation of mostly splits that they did with like Stapled Shut and Suppression, and yeah, some unreleased tracks from Split with Man is a Bastard that was supposed to come out. So this originally came out on Pessimizer, which is the singer's label, back in '99, but this is the more recent Tank Crimes version that's bought off the band, brand spanking. So yeah, the sound on this varies quite a bit. These guys are power violence, which is kind of a wanky term, but yeah, it's very, very impressive fastcore sort of stuff. It's just intense. Lots of pretty short songs, but there's some good sort of sludge monstery kind of ones on there as well. There's like female vocals on a few songs that works very well on this and worked really well live. I think it was the Gus bass player sings for him now. But yeah, and this also strangely has like a cover of Burning in Hell by Possessed, as well as like Couch Slouch, which is understandable, and Circle Jerks. But yeah, it's intense bloody stuff. And yeah, it comes with very spiffy looking, la-di-da, a lot of good blob core. I'm a sucker for stupid colours and weird splattery stuff. And I love the inside. It's a full tribute to good old Suicidal Tendencies with their on their first album, which had all their handmade suicidal shirts. Yeah, It's yeah, these guys, if you get a chance to see them live, definitely bloody take it. They were just killer. And yeah, happy to have this. I'm hoping one day they might actually record something new. I think the last thing they did was maybe a couple of 7-inches a couple of years ago, but I do own the split album with Agoraphobic, but yeah, that's like 11 years old now, so get onto it, fellas. Up next is a brand spanker I got from Profound Law. This is Impetuous Ritual with Iniquitous Barbaric Synthesis. This is their brand spanking album from these very, very dense Queensland Black Death sort of band. Just swirling, buzzing riffs everywhere. If you've heard any of these, they sound somewhat similar, but just far out. It takes a bit to digest, I gotta say, these guys. I was actually listening to this the other day in my study, and we had a very non-metal friend staying with us, and she asked if this was music or not. I was like, yeah, this is pretty much the worst example I could have on for a non-metalhead to wander past, but yeah, it's just intense. It's the only way to put it, really. There's this nice gatefold. Ooh, fancy. Yeah, I've only listened to this like twice, and yeah, it's really hasn't sunk in, I don't think, at all. It's yeah, the usual buzzing sort of style with some sort of, I don't know, Azixoth style solos all the way through, which is kind of surprising. And I think this version actually has lyrics for once. I'm pretty sure the early stuff doesn't have any lyrics, so yeah, good to see. But and I mean, it's kind of hard not to mention the fact that two of the members of this are in Portal, although I don't think they write in Portal, so. But there's similarities. They certainly don't sound the same. These guys are, if anything, a bit more musical. Sorry, I don't mean that as an insult, but a bit less just totally experimental weird than Portal is. But yeah, it's just intense. That's about all I could say, really. So I look forward to listening to this a bit more. The first couple of albums really stuck in me. I have great memories of driving around Chicago with my mate Mike, who was hosting me for a week on one of my MDF trips, and yeah, we drove around to various places, mostly beer-related places, and yeah, you had a tape of, I think it was the first two albums of this, or maybe Grave Upheaval as well on there. Who's another sort of band from this similar sort of group up there in Queensland, and yeah, just was on repeat, and yeah, just seeped into my soul. It was great bloody stuff. So yeah, killer band. Alright, up next is a badge I got from Czech label Bizarre Leprous. I've been putting out great bands over the years. This is one I just chucked in anyway, just because I'm a bit of a Coffins completist, but this is Coffins split with Second to None. This is 9 Cocoons of Dens to F. No idea what that title means, but probably meant something to them, I'm hoping. Yeah, this originally came out on Daymare, like a Japanese label, but what is it? Horror, Pain, Gore, Death Productions reissued it on records. I'm a bit of a Coffins completist for some reason, so I just thought, yeah, why not? I need it. So it's like 2 songs from each band. Both bands are Japanese. Both bands are Death Doom bands from Japan, really. The Coffin stuff's just heavy and slow as hell, but yeah, the first song has a nice sort of faster D-beat section that works really well. Second to None, I was not familiar with at all before this, but believe me, I'm pretty keen to check out more of them, actually. They're pretty similar to Coffin's sort of style, but they got that slight sort of slamming kind of hardcore feel to them, like Cruelty in parts. So yeah, I'll definitely be checking more of them out. I assume that's Countess Bathory on the cover maybe, but I'm not really sure. So yeah, excellent little EP. So, and yeah, very, very looking forward to checking out more of Second to None. So yeah, enjoy. Also from Bizarre Leprous is Funeral with Children of the Scorn. I've been meaning to get this album for bloody ages. This is just that Hammer Heart, reissue from, I don't know, a couple of years ago. Yeah, I've been meaning to get this for ages, but I don't know, I always kind of consider this slightly B-grade Finnish death metal. Great music, but just the sound is just weird on this. It's just really hollowy, kind of echoey, I don't know. Doesn't really work. Maybe it's just the first song's a bit weird. I'll never get past that. I actually ordered that Cranial Torment compilation, which is their like demos or EPs or whatever before this, but Unfortunately, Bizarre Leprous were out of them, so yeah, I kind of prefer the rawer sound of like Demo 90, I think it was. And yeah, I suspect, as with a lot of Scandinavian death metal bands, I think the Zizma sort of rock sort of conversion that they went through kind of rubbed off on these guys a bit. It's kind of the sound of a band getting better at their instruments, but not really quite knowing what they want to do. And after this, I think they split up anyway. There's no later stuff than this, I don't think. So yeah, I'm happy to have it, but yeah, I kind of still want that demo compilation as well. Also from Bizarre Leprous, and one of their own is Pigsty with The Return. I couldn't resist chucking this one on. It was cheapish, and I may have had this on CD for like 20-something years, but what the hell. Yeah, this is just intense Czech grind. Bloody insane stuff. It's got a slight sort of brutal death feel to it in parts. This is definitely the best sound they got. They've got a number of albums, but none of them sound quite as intense as this one. They're just a bit thinner, the other versions. The highlight for me on this really is probably the drumming. It's just that bloke can blast. It's just nasty. And also the vocals are another winner, just with some damn deep gutturals and then some kind of hardcore shouty sort of bits. I think I first heard the song Blowjob on compilation, and it blew me away. Sorry, kiddies. Honestly though, this is a golden era for me of your Czech grind with your, Ahumado, Granujo, Contrastic, Alienation Mental, NCC, and Cerebral Turbulency. It's just amazing stuff. They had a very, very damn good scene back then. This is kind of before the new metal weirdness crept into some of those bands, although this does still have a Rage Against the Machine cover at the end of Bulls on Parade, which, I must admit, it's one of the few Rage Against the Machine songs I kind of like. But yeah, don't let that spoil this for you, because it's just intense grind, really full on, and just nasty. And they got some weird sense of humour. I think there's like 2 songs about gunja for some reason, so not the most serious band, but friggin' intense. And lastly, from Bizarre Leprous, and the main reason why I did an order, and possibly the reason why this video might need to be re-edited, is Romper Prop with Hellcock's Pornflakes. Now, before you get too worried, I'm pretty sure that's a prosthetic, based on the difference in skin colour there to his leg. As you can tell, these guys are a little rude, I've got to say. This is, Dutch gore grind. There's no way you're seeing the back cover, because it's, that would definitely get me banned. It's very rude. And I will not really be reading out half the song titles either, probably. But I love these guys. Again, another one I've kind of had on CD since it came out. But what the hell? I've got to have it on record. So just look at that cover art. It's beautiful. These guys are, obviously your, I don't know, early 2000s Euro gore grind legends. So they've obviously heard Cock and Ball Torture and Gut a few times, as well as a lot of other styles. These guys have that masterful sort of chunky polka sort of beat to a lot of their songs. One of the highlights for me is definitely the vocals. It's all pitch shifted, I think, but the guy just does this crazy sort of I don't know, it's hard to describe. I think he's not growling the whole time, so he's just sort of, kind of sounds like he's ranting really fast. So I don't know, it's just weird, especially on I think it's Vaginal Luftwaffe. He just has this crazed sort of bit with, I think it's just him and drums maybe, or I don't know, it just sounds awesome. Sadly he sort of left maybe after this album or an EP after that, and they weren't quite as good after that, I don't think. He just knew what he was doing. Some of my that song's one of my favourites. Also, what is it? Pussy Juice Chubba Chub. This title track's pretty bloody good as well. I really enjoy Embryo as well, because it's got a sample out of Nightbreed about the law. But there's just killer groovy gore grind, just awesome stuff. I mean, it gets fast as well quite a bit, but it's just got that groove to it. It's amazing stuff. So if you haven't heard these guys, either check out this or Menstrual Stomp Hulk, the kind of EP or something or other before this, which I've got to try and track down on record sometime. Great band. Up next is a tape I got from Disdain Records. This is Resistance with their, well, self-titled demo, I'm guessing. This is a pretty newish Melbourne sort of, I don't know, D-beat hardcore punk crust, apparently, according to them. Band with members of, it's like Jay from Fucking Dead and the Kill, and members of Desecrator and Abraxas. Originally this review was going to be, I've no idea what this sounds like because my tape player doesn't work, but I did manage to find their Bandcamp, so the link is below, so definitely check it out. I really quite enjoyed what I heard the once, I think. Just sort of, it's your cross-punk sort of style. It sounds like Tragedy quite a bit in parts. Stadium Crust, I think they have written on their Bandcamp, but no, it sounded bloody killer, I gotta say. I'm very keen to check these guys out live. I was curious as to what it was going to sound like with that combination of band members, but yeah, very, very impressive. So, yeah, Resistance, new band. I'd hate to think of how many bands are called Resistance, so I don't know about that band name there, fellas, but anyway. Yeah, good stuff. Last but definitely not least is one I bought from Landspeed just the other day, actually. This is the new Immortal album, War Against All. This is the second album since Demon has sort of resurrected the band, you could say. So there's no Abath on this, and there's no Horg anymore. I think he was on the last album, but this one's got session work from the drummer from Gull's Word, or whatever they're called, and the Enslaved lead guitarist on extra guitars as well. So, sounds pretty bloody good. I've only listened to it the once so far. It's much the same as the last album, Northern Chaos God, so it's a lot faster. It does have a few of those. I think it's War God brings the sort of chunky, mid-paced kind of style of later Immortal. It's a good combination of sort of speed and epic kind of riffs. It's got a 7-minute instrumental Nordlander or something or other that's pretty decent. I was very, very pleased to see. The last song is Blathstrike, My Throne. I was like, whoa, goody. It does have a sort of, the theme at the start and the mellow section. It's definitely from, Mighty Raven Dark classics of Battles in the North. I'm kind of hoping one day we'll get a film clip to it, but just because there's very little as ridiculous as that Mighty Raven Dark film clip running down the mountain. Oh, it's just gold. This is, for some reason, gatefold with the cover art on the middle yet again, for some reason, but anyway. And I do love this. Where is it? You get your lyrics and then you get that. Yeah. Someone I showed this to at work went, oh, is that like a Kiss band or something? Well, yeah, no. So yeah, my first listen opinion of this, it's a really quite a good Immortal album. Not as great as Pure Holocaust or Battles in the North, but really very little is as great as those two. So, but yeah, kicking along. I'm quite impressed with this one. And unsurprisingly, half the songs are about like snow or mountains or something or other, or no sun. So yeah, good old Immortal, still kicking along. I'm wondering, I don't know if they tour with Demon As, maybe not. But anyway, decent new album. So, thanks again for watching. Links to all the bands and also the locations, the record labels or shops that I got these from are down below in the description. So, yeah, check it out. And yeah, check out my other videos if you like. As I said in the Chasm review, there's footage of them in my MDF review, so enjoy.